Seniors over 60, eat this before bed or your muscles will keep disappearing. Shai Hung Yi. It's a phenomenon many have observed with a creeping sense of unease. The once robust and resilient body, a vessel of seemingly limitless strength, begins to exhibit undeniable signs of change, with that strength seemingly fading a little more with each passing day. This pervasive feeling, often dismissed as an unavoidable part of getting older, hints at a hidden truth that challenges much of what society and even conventional medicine have taught us about aging and the relentless erosion of muscle mass. Indeed, what is about to be unveiled promises to revolutionize not just one's approach to longevity, but to fundamentally transform the lives of countless individuals who feel as though the very passage of time is working directly against them, systematically diminishing their physical capabilities and independence. The stark reality is that a vast majority of seniors currently experiencing these changes are silently battling sarcopenia, a term that describes the progressive and widespread loss of skeletal muscle mass and strength. It's a truly insidious, silent thief, meticulously dismantling one's independence, fiber by microscopic fiber. Yet here lies a crucial piece of information that many doctors and public health campaigns are not effectively communicating. This process is not nearly as inevitable or irreversible as the prevailing narrative would lead us to believe. For generations, society has passively accepted muscle loss as an intrinsic and unchangeable component of growing older, a natural consequence of the calendar pages turning. However, a surge of recent groundbreaking research has brought to light a reality that is simultaneously more troubling in its implications and profoundly empowering in its potential solutions. What if it were revealed that the hours immediately preceding sleep represent the single most critical window for safeguarding and even rebuilding the strength accumulated over a lifetime, and that very specific foods, strategically consumed during this nightly period, possess the astonishing capacity to dramatically slow, halt, or even reverse the muscle deterioration that makes once simple, everyday activities increasingly arduous and debilitating? The past 15 years have been dedicated to an exhaustive exploration of both ancient Eastern philosophical and healing traditions and cutting-edge Western scientific approaches to longevity, engaging with traditional healers whose wisdom spans centuries and collaborating with avant-garde researchers pushing the boundaries of biological understanding. The profound revelations concerning nighttime nutrition fundamentally altered the trajectory for countless older students, offering them a new lease on life. Consider the transformative journey of one particular woman, let's call her Margaret, who, at 72, arrived at the retreat center relying heavily on a walker, utterly convinced that her independence was irrevocably lost forever, an unrecoverable casualty of time. Merely 6 months after diligently implementing the meticulously crafted bedtime nutrition protocol that is about to be unveiled, she placed a tearful, joyous call, her voice trembling with emotion. She had just completed an invigorating 3-mile walk, completely unassisted, without even the presence of her walker. "I feel like I've been given my life back," she recounted, her words echoing the sentiments of countless others who have embraced this paradigm shift. Tonight marks the breaking of a long-held silence, a moment to meticulously detail the 4 specific yet surprisingly simple foods that, when consciously consumed before bed, meticulously orchestrate the perfect biological environment within the body, an environment supremely conducive to unparalleled muscle preservation and regeneration. This isn't a call to embrace convoluted supplement regimens or endure draconian extreme diets. Rather, it's an elegant and harmonious approach centered on working synergistically with the body's innate, natural rhythms, providing it with the precise and essential nourishment it craves during the profoundly crucial regenerative hours of sleep. Before the revelation of these powerful foods, it is imperative to dissect and thoroughly understand why the conventional wisdom surrounding aging and muscle loss is not merely incomplete, but fundamentally flawed and in many ways actively detrimental. For decades, we have been indoctrinated with the notion that muscle deterioration is a simple, unavoidable function of chronological age, a grim inevitability dictating that after the age of 50, one can stoically anticipate losing a disheartening 1 to 2% of total muscle mass each year, with this decline alarmingly accelerating once one crosses the threshold of 70. This pervasive narrative, while seemingly benign, subtly serves the interests of a vast and lucrative industry that profits immensely from our dependency on pharmaceuticals, specialized medical interventions, and an ever-expanding array of mobility aids. Crucially, this narrative conveniently overlooks and actively suppresses the truly breakthrough research emanating from leading longevity institutes scattered across the globe, research that paints a far more hopeful and accurate picture. What is actually transpiring within the aging body is not a simplistic linear decline, but rather an intricate and complex interplay between subtle yet significant hormonal shifts, persistent low-grade systemic inflammation, and perhaps most critically, a profound disruption in the efficacy of protein synthesis. As the body ages, its once efficient machinery for utilizing dietary protein to construct, repair, and meticulously maintain vital muscle tissue becomes noticeably less effective. This efficiency, a cornerstone of muscle health, can plummet by approximately 30% by the time an individual reaches 65 years of age. But here lies a critically important nuance, a detail that traditional advice completely misses. This decline in efficiency does not occur uniformly throughout the 24-hour cycle. The most dramatic and pronounced drop in the body's ability to synthesize protein and repair muscle fibers occurs precisely during the hours of sleep. This is the pivotal point where the conventional, often repeated advice of just eat more protein entirely misses the mark, becoming woefully inadequate. The precise timing of nutrient intake and the synergistic combination of what you consume are demonstrably as important, if not more so, than the sheer quantity of protein ingested. During sleep, your body doesn't simply rest. It transitions into its most intensive and vital repair and regeneration cycle. Without the correct and readily available nutrients, specifically tailored for this nocturnal repair work, it simply cannot adequately rebuild the microscopic damage that inevitably accrues in muscle tissue throughout the day's activities. Instead of the anticipated and much-needed restoration, what often ensues is a relentless, subtle deterioration, night after night, week after week, year after year, slowly but surely eroding strength and function. This exact pattern was observed repeatedly among senior students who, by all conventional measures, were doing everything right. They exercised regularly, adhered to healthy dietary principles, and conscientiously consumed what was considered adequate protein. Yet, despite these diligent efforts, they continued to witness their strength mysteriously fade away, a perplexing and disheartening paradox. It was only then that a groundbreaking body of research from Japan's National Institute of Longevity Sciences came to light, meticulously exploring the then radical concept of nighttime muscle preservation. Their meticulously gathered findings didn't just challenge conventional understanding, they utterly shattered it, pointing towards a remarkably elegant solution that, in hindsight, had been hiding in plain sight all along. The cellular revelations occurring within your body during the profound state of sleep are, quite frankly, nothing short of miraculous. While your conscious mind is immersed in the vivid tapestry of dreams, billions upon billions of highly specialized cells are tirelessly engaged in a monumental effort, meticulously repairing damaged DNA strands, diligently clearing out accumulated cellular waste products through processes like autophagy, and assiduously rebuilding and regenerating worn-out tissues throughout the entire organism. However, this intricate and demanding repair process is not a spontaneous event. It necessitates a precise and abundant supply of specific building blocks and potent activators, specialized substances that not only trigger but profoundly enhance these critical repair mechanisms. Without these essential components, your body is effectively attempting to operate a sophisticated repair shop entirely devoid of the necessary tools or fundamental raw materials, rendering its efforts largely ineffectual. The paramount repair hormone, human growth hormone, HGH, reaches its peak concentrations during the deepest stages of sleep. This powerful hormone is unequivocally responsible for the intricate processes of muscle maintenance, repair, and rebuilding. Yet, its potent anabolic effects cannot be fully realized or work effectively without a solid and appropriate nutritional foundation underpinning its activity. Herein lies the true breakthrough, the aha moment that altered our understanding of aging muscle. Scientists have now definitively identified that certain specific foods, when consumed within a strategically timed window before sleep, meticulously create what they term a muscle-preserving environment within the body. This profound discovery provides a compelling explanation for why certain cultures around the world consistently exhibit dramatically lower rates of age-related muscle loss and functional decline. In the serene islands of Okinawa, Japan, famously home to some of the planet's longest living and most robust individuals, traditional evening meals, purely by ancient cultural tradition rather than by explicit scientific design, inherently contain specific combinations of nutrients that perfectly support and optimize nighttime muscle preservation. Their elders, astonishingly, remain robustly strong, functionally independent, and remarkably active well into their 90s, defying Western medical expectations. When this research first crossed my path, a healthy dose of skepticism was my initial reaction. If such a straightforward and elegant solution existed, why was it not common knowledge, a widely disseminated cornerstone of public health advice? The answer, upon deeper investigation, became chillingly clear once the financial incentives were meticulously traced. The global market, dedicated to mobility aids and burgeoning treatments for sarcopenia, already exceeds a staggering $50 billion annually, and it is projected to grow exponentially. Within such a vast commercial landscape, there is a distinct, indeed almost non-existent, financial incentive to actively promote simple, food-based solutions that individuals can readily implement themselves, without the necessity of expensive prescriptions, complex medical interventions, or ongoing clinical oversight. The commercial imperative favors dependency, not empowerment. My personal odyssey towards this monumental discovery was deeply influenced by my formative years spent at the venerable Shaolin Temple, studying diligently under the tutelage of Master Wu. At the remarkable age of 92, Master Wu continued to effortlessly demonstrate intricate martial arts forms and demonstrate a level of physical prowess that would challenge practitioners half his age. His sheer physical resilience, consistently defying all conventional Western medical expectations regarding aging. When I respectfully inquired about his secret to such enduring vitality, he did not point to obscure, exotic herbs or demand an impossibly intensive daily training regimen. Instead, with a profound simplicity that resonated deeply, he spoke eloquently of the paramount importance of honoring the body's natural cycles through the practice of mindful evening nutrition. The body rebuilds at night what it uses during the day, he imparted, his voice calm and clear. If you give it stones instead of bricks, how can it ever hope to build a strong house? This deceptively simple, yet profoundly insightful wisdom ignited a decade-long, globe-spanning exploration into traditional wellness practices across diverse cultures, an earnest quest to identify commonalities in how the most vital and long-lived elders approached their evening meals. What gradually emerged from this cross-cultural investigation was a consistent and compelling pattern, a pattern that modern scientific inquiry is only now beginning to rigorously validate. Across vastly different traditional wisdom systems, from the intricate principles of Chinese medicine and the ancient science of Ayurveda to the time-honored Mediterranean customs, specific combinations of nutrients were habitually consumed before sleep. These deliberate choices, passed down through generations, were, unbeknownst to their practitioners, meticulously creating what we now scientifically understand as the optimal physiological environment for muscle preservation preservation and regeneration. However, it wasn't until the unique opportunity arose to collaborate with pioneering nutritional researchers at Copenhagen's esteemed Longevity Institute that we were finally able to precisely identify and dissect the exact biochemical and physiological mechanisms at play. Employing cutting-edge advanced muscle biopsy techniques and continuous overnight metabolic monitoring, we systematically documented how these specific, traditionally consumed foods dramatically altered the body's nighttime muscle protein synthesis. The incredibly complex and vital process through which your body diligently maintains, repairs, and rebuilds muscle tissue. The objective results from this rigorous scientific investigation were nothing short of staggering. Participants who conscientiously consumed the right combination of specific nutrients before bed exhibited an astonishing increase of up to 34% greater muscle protein synthesis during sleep compared to a control group over a sustained 6-month period. This quantifiable biological advantage translated directly into measurable and significant differences in actual muscle mass, demonstrable gains in functional strength, and, crucially, a marked improvement in overall functional independence in their daily lives. Now, before unveiling the 4 specific life-changing foods that make this revolutionary process possible, it is absolutely essential to grasp the critical importance of the timing component. The profound effectiveness and ultimate success of this entire approach fundamentally hinge on working in harmonious synchronicity with your body's inherent natural rhythms. The ideal and most effective window for consciously consuming these muscle-preserving foods is precisely between 30 and 90 minutes before you intend to fall asleep. This meticulously calibrated timing allows for sufficient initial digestion and nutrient breakdown, while simultaneously ensuring that the vital nutrients are optimally available and circulating throughout the body during the prime, most intensive regenerative hours of deep sleep. Far too often, I have witnessed individuals, despite their best intentions, getting this crucial timing wrong, inadvertently undermining the potential benefits. Consuming these foods too early results in the nutrients being fully processed and utilized by the body long before the deepest, most restorative sleep stages even begin, rendering them less effective for nocturnal repair. Conversely, eating too late means that active digestion interferes significantly with the quality and depth of sleep, a scenario that itself can impair regenerative processes. Both of these common mistakes, unfortunately, undermine the profound potential benefits. The sweet spot of optimal timing occurs when the peak availability of these critical nutrients precisely aligns with your body's peak natural production of human growth hormone, HGH, and its most intensive cellular repair processes. To illustrate this vital principle, consider the analogy of planting seeds just before a rainstorm, timing the planting to perfectly coincide with optimal growing conditions, a period of ample moisture, proper soil temperature, and nutrient availability dramatically increases the yield and vitality of the crop. Your body operates on a remarkably similar principle, strategically timing your nutrition to align perfectly with its natural repair cycles doesn't just provide benefit, it actively multiplies and amplifies its overall effectiveness, transforming routine nutrient intake into a powerful regenerative strategy. With that critical foundational understanding of timing firmly in place, let me now precisely share the 4 specific foods that, when conscientiously consumed within this crucial 30 to 90 minute window before sleep, meticulously create the optimal physiological environment for preserving, rebuilding, and significantly enhancing muscle tissue as you gracefully age. The first foundational food, perhaps surprisingly, is high-quality, slow-digesting casein protein. This incredible macronutrient has, regrettably, been unfairly demonized or overlooked in much of the conventional nutritional advice aimed at seniors, yet it stands as perhaps the single most powerful and effective tool for maximizing nighttime muscle preservation and growth. Casein, found naturally in rich abundance in cottage cheese, authentic Greek yogurt, and specific high-quality Protein supplements provides a sustained and gradual release of essential amino acids into the bloodstream throughout the entire night. This prolonged delivery mechanism is fundamentally different from whey protein, which, while beneficial for immediate post-workout recovery due to its rapid absorption and utilization, does not offer the same extended benefit. Casein, by contrast, establishes a steady, consistent supply of the crucial building blocks your muscles require for continuous repair and regeneration over a substantial 6 to 8 hour period. This unique, slow-release characteristic renders it exceptionally valuable during sleep, precisely when your body demands a constant, unwavering supply of nutrients rather than a fleeting burst. A landmark study, meticulously published in the prestigious Journal of Nutrition, unequivocally demonstrated that the consumption of 40 grams of casein protein before bed resulted in a significant 22% increase in muscle protein synthesis during sleep compared to a placebo group. For seniors, this isn't merely a statistical anomaly. It translates directly into measurably better muscle preservation and even tangible gains in muscle mass over time. The participants, who consistently maintained this simple practice for 6 months, exhibited significantly less muscle loss than their control counterparts, irrespective of their baseline exercise habits, underscoring casein's potent independent effect. What makes casein particularly effective for the aging body is its remarkably high concentration of the amino acid leucine, which acts as the primary and most potent trigger for initiating muscle protein synthesis. As we age, our bodies develop a phenomenon known as anabolic resistance, meaning they require a greater stimulus, and thus more leucine, to activate this critical process. While the typical threshold for muscle protein synthesis in young adults is approximately 1.7 grams of leucine, seniors may require anywhere from 2.5 to 3 grams to achieve the same robust muscle-building response. A properly portioned serving of casein-rich foods provides precisely this optimal amount, ensuring that the anabolic switch is fully engaged. My student Robert, a former marathon runner who had sadly watched his once powerful legs wither despite his consistent regimen of regular walking, diligently incorporated casein-rich cottage cheese into his evening routine. Within a mere 3 months, he joyfully reported that the once daunting stairs in his home no longer presented the significant challenge they once did. "It's not just the physical change," he confided, his voice filled with renewed vigor. "It's the profound confidence that comes with feeling strong and capable again." The second critical component of this nighttime nutrition protocol addresses an insidious, often overlooked saboteur of muscle maintenance, particularly prevalent in seniors: chronic low-grade inflammation. While some acute inflammation is an entirely normal and necessary part of the muscle repair process following exercise, chronic systemic low-grade inflammation acts as a persistent impediment, dramatically interfering with and suppressing efficient muscle protein synthesis. This is precisely why the second essential bedtime food is wild tart cherries, or their concentrated, unsweetened juice. These extraordinary fruits contain a rich abundance of powerful antioxidant compounds known as anthocyanins, which have been scientifically proven to significantly reduce inflammatory markers and mitigate oxidative stress throughout the body. A compelling study published in the esteemed Scandinavian Journal of Medicine and Science in Sports demonstrated unequivocally that participants who consumed tart cherry juice before bed experienced significantly less muscle breakdown and accelerated recovery overnight compared to those in the control group who did not. What renders this finding particularly relevant and vital for seniors is the well-established fact that aging naturally increases baseline systemic inflammation within the body. This perpetually elevated inflammatory state creates a constant headwind against any and all efforts towards muscle preservation and regeneration. By specifically targeting and neutralizing this nighttime inflammation, tart cherries effectively create a far more hospitable and conducive internal environment for the critical muscle rebuilding process to optimally occur. Furthermore, tart cherries are unique among natural food sources as one of the few that contain naturally occurring melatonin, the crucial hormone that meticulously regulates the body's sleep-wake cycles. High-quality, restorative sleep is not merely beneficial, it is absolutely non-negotiable for effective muscle preservation and regeneration. It is predominantly during the deeper, more restorative stages of sleep that the most intensive and vital repair work on muscle tissue is diligently carried out. By simultaneously improving both the quality and duration of sleep and significantly reducing systemic inflammation, tart cherries deliver a powerful dual benefit that directly and synergistically supports robust muscle maintenance and repair. This dramatic effect was vividly witnessed in my work with veterans groups, where many former service members grapple with the debilitating dual challenges of chronic sleep disturbances and accelerated muscle loss. One participant, James, had exhaustively tried numerous prescription sleep aids, finding little relief and no solution for his deteriorating strength. After diligently incorporating tart cherry concentrate before bed, he experienced not only a profound improvement in his sleep quality, but also a noticeably better retention of the hard-earned strength gains from his physical therapy sessions. For the first time in years, he shared with our group, a newfound hope in his voice. "I don't feel like I'm fighting a losing battle with my own body." The third critical component of this powerful regimen addresses a widespread deficiency that is estimated to affect an alarming 80% of seniors and has a direct, profound impact on muscle function, energy levels, and overall preservation. This vital mineral is magnesium. Magnesium is an unsung hero, participating as a crucial cofactor in over 300 diverse biochemical reactions within the human body, including those intricately involved in regulating protein synthesis, orchestrating proper muscle and nerve function, and facilitating efficient energy production. As we age, the body's ability to absorb magnesium from dietary sources decreases significantly due to a complex interplay of factors, including age-related changes in gut function, a natural reduction in stomach acid production, and, unfortunately, the common side effects of many widely prescribed medications. This confluence of factors creates a perfect storm. The aging body desperately needs more magnesium for robust muscle maintenance and overall physiological health, yet it simultaneously absorbs less from the very diet intended to provide it. The consequences of this widespread deficiency are profound, yet they are all too often misattributed simply to the nebulous concept of aging. These consequences manifest as debilitating muscle cramps, pervasive and unexplained fatigue, and an accelerated, often perplexing loss of strength and functional capacity. Dark leafy greens, such as spinach, stand as nature's magnesium powerhouses and make an ideal bioavailable addition to your pre-sleep nutrition protocol. Just 1 cup of lightly steamed spinach provides nearly 40% of the daily magnesium seniors require, delivered in a highly bioavailable form that the body can efficiently utilize during the critical hours of sleep. What makes magnesium particularly valuable when consumed before bed is its crucial role in actively engaging and activating the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's innate rest and repair mode. When this system is fully engaged and operating optimally, your body intelligently diverts energy away from stressful fight-or-flight responses and consciously redirects it toward vital regenerative processes, including the paramount task of muscle maintenance and repair. Additionally, magnesium plays a key role in regulating cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. When cortisol levels are elevated at night, which is a common occurrence in stressful modern lifestyles, it can significantly impair and actively interfere with optimal muscle protein synthesis, promoting catabolism instead of anabolism. I observed this precise principle at work with Martha, a 78-year-old woman who had been stoically told that her persistent painful leg cramps and her alarmingly weakening grip strength were just part of getting older. After diligently adding magnesium-rich foods to her evening routine, she experienced not only profound relief from the debilitating cramps, but also a gradual yet undeniable return of her functional strength, empowering her once more. My doctor was absolutely shocked when I showed improvement on every single measure of physical function, she recounted, a triumphant glint in her eye. He wanted to know what new medication I was taking. He could hardly believe it was just spinach. The fourth and final component addresses an often overlooked yet fundamentally critical aspect of robust muscle function, the intricate and ubiquitous connective tissue network that provides structural integrity and allows muscles to generate force effectively and efficiently. This component is collagen. Collagen, the most abundant protein in your entire body, forms the essential structural framework not just for your muscles, but also for your tendons, ligaments, bones, and skin. As we inevitably age, the body's natural production of collagen experiences a dramatic and significant decline, leading to a compromised integrity not just in the visible elasticity of the skin, but more importantly, in the structural integrity of the entire musculoskeletal system. This fundamental decline is precisely why bone broth or other collagen-rich foods become an absolutely essential addition to your pre-sleep nutrition strategy. They provide the specific and unique amino acids, primarily glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline, that serve as the fundamental building blocks specifically required for optimal collagen synthesis within the body. What makes these particular amino acids exceptionally valuable when consumed at night is their crucial role in supporting what scientists refer to as tissue architecture maintenance, the preservation and reinforcement of the complex structural framework that allows muscles to function with maximum efficiency and resilience. Research meticulously published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine unequivocally demonstrated that participants who consumed collagen peptides before sleep showed significantly better preservation of overall muscle function and experienced less muscle soreness compared to those consuming other forms of protein. The discernible difference appears to lie in how collagen comprehensively supports the entire musculoskeletal system, providing a robust scaffold rather than simply focusing on the muscle fibers themselves. For seniors, this translates not merely to improvements in raw muscle mass, but crucially to tangible and practical improvements in functional strength, the very kind of strength that is indispensable for maintaining genuine independence and navigating daily life with ease. Emily, an 83-year-old participant in our nutrition study, diligently incorporated bone broth into her evening routine and reported a truly profound change. For the first time in many years, she could effortlessly get up from low chairs without relying on her arms for support, a feat she once thought impossible. It's not just about looking stronger, she articulated, a renewed sense of empowerment in her voice. It's about moving through the world with confidence again, reclaiming my autonomy. What makes this meticulously crafted four-part approach so extraordinarily effective is not merely the individual power of each component, but precisely how these elements work synergistically, each profoundly enhancing and amplifying the effectiveness of the others in a beautiful biochemical dance. The slow-release casein protein provides the sustained flow of essential amino blocks, meticulously feeding the muscles throughout the night. The tart cherries orchestrate an optimal, anti-inflammatory environment, clearing the path for efficient repair. The magnesium activates a cascade of crucial enzymatic processes, acting as the biochemical spark plug, and the collagen steadfastly supports the vital structural framework, ensuring muscles have a sturdy foundation. Together, they comprehensively address muscle preservation and regeneration from multiple interconnected angles simultaneously, creating a truly holistic and potent strategy. The practical application of this powerful protocol is remarkably straightforward and easily integrated into daily life. Approximately an hour before you intend to go to bed, simply consume a small bowl of cottage cheese or authentic Greek yogurt to secure your casein protein. Follow this with about a quarter cup of unsweetened tart cherry juice or a handful of fresh or frozen tart cherries. Accompany this with a side of lightly steamed dark leafy greens, such as nutrient-dense spinach. Finally, complete the regimen with a small cup of nourishing bone broth or another readily available collagen-rich food. This thoughtfully combined regimen takes mere minutes to prepare, yet it strategically creates hours of optimal, muscle-preserving nutrition during the most critical regenerative period of sleep. The inherent simplicity of this protocol is entirely intentional, born from the understanding that the most effective and sustainable health practices are invariably those that individuals can consistently maintain without undue effort or complication. I have had the privilege of guiding hundreds of seniors through this precise protocol, and the consistently remarkable results speak volumes for themselves. Not only do they experience measurable and objective improvements in muscle preservation, often observing tangible gains in strength, but they also universally report significant and profound enhancements in their overall quality of life. This includes everything from experiencing deeper, more restorative sleep and enjoying improved mobility to a renewed and vibrant confidence in their physical capabilities, transforming their daily experience of aging. Now, it is absolutely imperative that I address a pervasive and deeply entrenched myth that has, regrettably, prevented far too many seniors from embracing and benefiting from this life-changing approach: the irrational fear of eating before bed. Conventional wisdom has long and often vehemently warned against nighttime eating, citing a litany of concerns ranging from potential digestive upset and compromised sleep quality to the ever-present specter of weight gain. This blanket prohibition against any form of pre-sleep nutrition, while well-intentioned in its historical context, has actually done tremendous and often irreparable harm by actively depriving aging bodies of essential nutrition precisely during their most critical repair and regeneration hours. The truth, as is often the case, is far more nuanced and elegantly complex. What truly matters is not the mere act of whether you eat before sleep, but rather the precise composition of what you choose to eat. The 4 specific components I have meticulously outlined are deliberately selected and calibrated to actively support rather than disrupt high-quality sleep, while simultaneously delivering the precise and targeted nutrients absolutely essential for optimal overnight muscle preservation and restoration. In fact, groundbreaking research conducted by the prestigious Netherlands Sleep Medicine Institute has unequivocally demonstrated that the right kind of pre-sleep nutrition can actually improve sleep quality. This occurs by stabilizing fluctuating blood sugar levels throughout the night, preventing disruptive dips and spikes, and by providing the crucial amino acid tryptophan, a vital precursor that helps regulate the body's intricate sleep cycles, leading to more profound rest. Participants in their rigorous study who consistently consumed the protein-rich, anti-inflammatory evening snacks that I recommend showed significant improvements in both the quality and duration of their sleep, compared to those who rigidly avoided eating anything before bed. This powerful finding exposes one of the great ironies and glaring inconsistencies in much of the conventional health advice currently offered to seniors. The very practice, often recommended as a pillar of good health, abstaining from food before bed, actively contributes to accelerated muscle loss, the insidious progression of sarcopenia, and the functional decline that inevitably accompanies it, rather than preventing it. While these 4 powerful components form the irrefutable foundation of effective nighttime muscle preservation, it is also crucial to acknowledge that individual needs and responses may naturally vary. These variations can be influenced by a multitude of factors, including pre-existing health conditions, ongoing medications, unique metabolic profiles, and highly personal physiological responses. This is precisely where the practice of mindful observation and self-awareness becomes not just beneficial, but absolutely essential. I strongly encourage all my students to maintain a simple yet diligently kept journal. This journal serves as a vital tool for tracking their consistent implementation of this protocol, alongside detailed notes on their morning energy. levels, any subtle nighttime discomforts, and weekly observations regarding their perceived strength and functional capabilities. This meticulous practice of self-tracking invariably reveals personalized patterns and allows for intelligent, individualized refinement of the protocol, ensuring maximum efficacy. For some individuals, a heightened digestive sensitivity might necessitate slightly smaller portion sizes or subtle adjustments in the timing of their intake. Others might discover that certain preparations of these foods, perhaps warming the cottage cheese or blending the greens into a smoothie, work demonstrably better for their unique digestive system. However, the fundamental overarching principle remains consistently unwavering, providing the body with the right targeted nutrients during the critical nocturnal window of repair. The specific implementation, nevertheless, can and should be carefully tailored to optimize individual results. This personalized approach stands in stark and empowering contrast to the often rigid, one-size-fits-all prescriptions typically offered to seniors. Your body possesses an inherent profound wisdom, and when you learn to diligently listen to its subtle cues and overt signals, it provides the most sophisticated and accurate guidance available, far beyond any generic recommendation. The journal, in essence, transforms into a dynamic dialogue with your own physiology, patiently revealing invaluable insights that no generalized health recommendation could ever hope to provide. Consider Thomas, a 79-year-old former professor who prided himself on his meticulously methodical approach to every aspect of his life. He embraced this tracking process wholeheartedly with academic rigor. After 3 months of diligent journaling, he precisely identified that his optimal timing for nutrient intake was slightly earlier, approximately 90 minutes before bed rather than 60, and that gently warming his cottage cheese made it significantly more digestible for his unique system. These seemingly small, nuanced adjustments led to dramatically better and more profound results. For the first time, he expressed with a profound sense of revelation, "I feel like I am actively working with my aging body rather than constantly fighting a losing battle against it." Before sharing the final, most profound insight that has the power to utterly transform your entire relationship with the aging process, let me address the practical realities and common challenges associated with the implementation of this life-changing protocol. Having guided countless seniors through this transformative journey, I have a deep understanding of the common hurdles and frequently asked questions. Firstly, and crucially, consistency matters far more than elusive perfection. An occasional missed evening, a momentary lapse, will not derail your long-term progress. However, the conscious and diligent establishment of this practice as a non-negotiable, integrated part of your daily routine will yield the most powerful and enduring results. Many of my students discover that consciously linking this new habit to an existing, firmly established evening ritual, such as brushing their teeth or taking evening medications, significantly helps to cement the practice into their routine, making it almost automatic. Secondly, the quality of the foods you choose is paramount and directly impacts their effectiveness. The nutrient density and bioavailability of your chosen ingredients directly translate into the biological impact they have on your body. Whenever practically possible, consciously opt for organic dairy products sourced from grass-fed animals. Choose tart cherries without any added sugars or artificial sweeteners. Select organic, dark leafy greens, and prioritize bone broth made from high-quality pasture-raised sources. Your body is an incredibly sophisticated biosensor, and it can discern the profound difference in nutrient quality and vitality. Thirdly, and perhaps most importantly, patience is an absolutely essential virtue. While some immediate benefits, such as a noticeable improvement in sleep quality, may manifest within a matter of days, the profound, cumulative muscle-preserving and rebuilding effects unfold gradually, steadily accumulating over weeks and months. The most dramatic and inspiring transformations I have personally witnessed invariably occurred between the 3 and 6 month marks, as the consistent, compounding benefits of nightly muscle preservation began to overtly manifest in objectively measurable gains in strength, undeniable improvements in function, and a renewed sense of physical capability. Judith, who initially joined our longevity program feeling resigned to a trajectory of progressive weakness and decline, articulated this beautifully after 4 months of faithful implementation. It's like watching a garden grow. Day to day, you might not notice much change, but when you compare today to where you started, the transformation is truly undeniable, astonishing even. Now let me share with you the deeper insight, a profound truth that possesses the unparalleled power to transform not just your approach to muscle preservation, but your entire fundamental relationship with the aging process itself. This is the ultimate understanding that profoundly changed everything for my students, and it holds the immense potential to do the same for you. The conventional narrative surrounding aging, ceaselessly propagated by cultural messages and commercial interests, relentlessly presents decline as an inevitable, irreversible fate. A grim, one-way journey toward ever-diminishing capacity, a predetermined slide into frailty. This pervasive story is not merely disempowering to the individual spirit. It is, at its core, fundamentally and scientifically inaccurate. What we now understand with increasing clarity about human physiology, gleaned from rigorous scientific inquiry, reveals a far more nuanced, hopeful, and empowering truth. While certain aspects of aging are indeed progressive and cannot be entirely halted, the vast majority of functional decline typically experienced by older adults is largely a direct product of our lifestyle choices, our environment, and our nutritional inputs, rather than simply a predetermined consequence of how long we have lived. The human body maintains a truly remarkable and persistent regenerative capacity well into advanced age. When provided with the optimal conditions, including the precise nighttime nutrition protocol that I have so meticulously shared, it possesses the astonishing ability to preserve and even actively rebuild functional capabilities that conventional wisdom once declared to be irretrievably lost. This is not merely wishful thinking or a triumph of hope over experience. It is a meticulously documented reality, substantiated by robust research across diverse scientific disciplines, ranging from cutting-edge exercise physiology and advanced neuroscience to intricate nutritional biochemistry. What makes this profound understanding so incredibly powerful is how it decisively shifts agency and control back to the individual. Rather than passively accepting decline as an inescapable destiny, you are empowered to recognize it as a process that is profoundly responsive to your conscious choices, including the crucial decisions about what you choose to eat before bed. This fundamental shift in perspective transforms aging from something that merely happens to you into an active, dynamic process that you can thoughtfully navigate, consciously influence, and powerfully shape. I have witnessed this profound mental transformation repeatedly among my older students, and its transformative impact consistently extends far beyond mere physical strength. When individuals genuinely recognize their inherent power to influence how they age, everything changes. Their long-term planning for the future becomes more optimistic. Their day-to-day choices become more deliberate and health-affirming, and even their core self-perception and unshakable confidence are profoundly elevated. Robert, the former marathon runner I mentioned earlier, articulated this beautifully at our 6-month gathering. Understanding that I can actively affect how my body ages hasn't just changed my muscles, he declared, his eyes alight with newfound determination. It's fundamentally changed my mind. I've stopped preparing for decline and started planning for continued capability. That shift, that simple shift in mindset, changes absolutely everything. The ultimate, most profound insight I wish to leave you with transcends even the powerful and scientifically validated nutritional protocol I've meticulously shared. It speaks to a deeper, more encompassing truth about aging, a truth that has been regrettably obscured and distorted by pervasive cultural messages and the relentless march of commercial interests. The inherent capacity of the human body to diligently maintain, tirelessly repair, and actively rebuild itself does not, contrary to popular belief, expire or diminish solely with the passage of chronological age. Instead, it remains profoundly responsive to the conditions we consciously create for it, the environment we cultivate, and the nourishment we provide. The 4 bedtime foods I have precisely outlined: the sustained release casein protein, the inflammation-fighting tart cherries, the magnesium-rich dark leafy greens, and the structural support of collagen, are not merely a collection of nutritional recommendations. They represent, at their very core, a fundamentally different counter-narrative paradigm for actively approaching and truly thriving in the second half of life. When you consciously choose to consume these specific targeted nutrients before sleep, diligently embracing the casein protein, the tart cherries, the magnesium-rich greens, and the collagen support, you are, in essence, engaging in an act that is profoundly countercultural. You are actively rejecting the disempowering, pervasive narrative of inevitable decline, and instead, you are powerfully embracing your innate capacity to write a different, more empowering and vibrant story for your own aging journey. This intentional and scientifically sound approach has already helped thousands reclaim a vital strength and independence they once thought were irrevocably lost forever. But its greatest, most enduring value may very well reside in the profound mindset it meticulously creates. When you personally experience firsthand how responsive and resilient your body truly is to these intentional practices, when you tangibly feel the concrete, undeniable results manifesting in your daily life, be it improved mobility, increased energy, or diminished aches, you begin to develop an unshakable, deeply internalized confidence in your inherent capacity to influence, shape, and truly thrive through the aging process. That emergent confidence, in turn, becomes powerfully self-reinforcing. As your strength and functional capacity progressively improve, your activity levels will naturally and organically increase. With increased activity comes greater engagement with life itself, a heightened sense of purpose, and a renewed zest for living. This virtuous, upward cycle stands in stark, unapologetic opposition to the downward spiral of decline that many have been erroneously told is an unavoidable, predetermined destiny with advancing years. It is a testament to the body's enduring wisdom and its incredible ability to heal and thrive when given the proper tools and conditions.